Thank you. Yes, it was in the summer camp in France, in south of France, 8 years ago now, and we met each other, and I met for the first time data scientists in this summer camp, and I immediately imagined what use we could hope with this tool I discovered this time. So I would like to thank to the organization for this wonderful symposium. Sorry for my English. And I dedicate this presentation to my colleague and friend Gilbert Rouget, because he's dead last month. It was 101 years old. And he was very concerned by sound archiving and new technologies when he was the director of the ethnomusicology lab at Museum. As archivist and sound engineer, who works every day with sound files, I'm very concerned by cross-disciplinarity, new tools, and of course this symposium is a great opportunity to explore new boundaries. I met data scientists some years ago by chance, only by chance, and so for 6 years I'm involved in research program to develop audio analysis tools with the Museum archives. I will speak today about my experience to manage sound archives and disseminate a world cultural heritage with new web technologies. So I will explain in this paper the Sound Archive of Museum associated to a web platform, use tools from music information retrieval, and I will present to you a result of some recent programs and perspectives. So those archives are supported by many institutions in France, like CNRS, of course, and Ministry of Culture. Since 1 century, these archives are collected from all over the world, thanks to the initiative of André Scheffner and Gilbert Rouget on this picture, and Scheffner on the mission Dakar-Djibouti in the 30s. The Musée de l'Homme shares this common heritage since a long time, according new technologies of each period, like RPM and CD, and now web platform. Today, all the records published by the Musée de l'Homme are available on free access online. And I would like to, I show this lullaby Tuareg lullaby, collected by Henri Lot in 48, and because Pierre Boulez has focused on this song at Musée de l'Homme in the 60s. Yep. Non, ça ne marche pas. Qu'est-ce que j'ai fait? So I hope also you could find interesting resources for your studies. The specificity of this collection is to be managed by a research team. Indeed, we need many skills of specialists of each cultural area, like linguistic or musical skills, to inform properly each sound files. And at first, to keep alive this world heritage, it must be accessible and indexed to be enriched by a wide community. And of course, it needs to be digitized, and indexation is a very, very long process. It started 20 years ago for the digitization and 10 years for the database online. The first prototype was in 2007. And we are only 2 persons to archive and indexing and digitize, me and another people. And various research projects help us to hire people in order to complete the database and segment the digitized tapes. So it is the sound file online, and this is the items, because each time you digitize a new collection, there is more items. So So today, what is the technological context and the needs to manage and share this sound database, as there was no open source management system, only proprietary system, so it's very expensive. And so we designed a web platform, collaborative and open source. It was a pretty crazy idea, but we get many benefits. Give access, of course, according to the demand of the French institution. We get money to digitize only if there is a public access, and we get visibility. We can manage the sound database and the metadata. Here you have the old paper file. And we managed the twice with the same tools to check the description of the sound files. Manage the access is also very important to fit with the profile of each users and facilitate the metadata enrichment with many people from everywhere. Since 6 years, we offer new access. So with this platform in many languages, we have, for example, interface in Arabic language. Thanks to the colleague of Tunisia, Anas Grab, we make the Arabic version interface. We also have a German version done by German guys from Switzerland. And we have a tool to fit our needs for daily work and to be visible by everybody and to work really on the sound file and to navigate inside the sound file. Moreover, it is easier to involve contributors and collectors in this time-consuming work to inform the content and if it's accessible to a wide public. For example, I like this nice representation. It is a song of Pygmy music recorded by Simra Rom and Geneviève Tournon. And we can follow, not this, on the web platform, you can follow the sound, but here, no, oh, sorry. Yep. So it's very useful to analyze this and transcribe the traditional music because often Western scores is not really relevant to represent what is really the traditional music. So the goal is also to manage audio files and metadata on the web, but also the access issues, enrich the metadata with other people. So we have many capabilities, and it is an open source software to be more sustainable for the academic community, and it is downloaded. You can download it freely on the wiki here, telemeta.org. This is a schematic representation of the core of the platform. Here there is the engine, the workflow engine for sound and video data, and the metadata is a MySQL database for the metadata. Many functionalities are integrated, like streaming for read on streaming the sound. You can't download the sound, but without permission. And also we have a search engine very specific for ethnomusicologic metadata, because if you have a look of many library, is not obviously evident, and in usual library there is no research engine for ethnomusicologic metadata, so it's very difficult to find relevant information. The engine is an audio signal processing engine of Telemeta, is named TimeSide, and we have many options to analyze this and visualize the sound online. And also, we can do music information retrieval with the same web platform, so it's useful to work. The metadata are structured in a specific model for ethnomusicology, but you can export in CSV or Dublin Core, and it's possible to select with this MySQL database. We can select precisely experimental data set to according some specific parameters for test music information retrieval tools, for example. This is an example of interoperability of metadata. And as a Europeana Sound project, it was a good opportunity to share, disseminate, and build a network to improve the technical issues with the metadata aggregation. That is a very big challenge. Here you can see the CREM metadata aggregated in the portal and the player embedded in the Europeana portal is from the Timeside engine. This is a funny use case of cultural heritage use and interesting way of repatriation by the local community. This is an African blog, illustrate cook receipts with songs, and they embed all the song from recorded in the 60s by Pierre Salé in Gabon. And it's the most play, the item we are most played since 1 year. It's crazy. From Africa. Thanks the web platform, thanks to this web platform, we can build user community of the platform to test new technologies, new tools of music information retrieval, test new algorithms, and also share research protocol and financial investment. Not so yes, it's important. And now I present music information retrieval. So after the summer camp, I met other IT labs in France. And Diadems was our first national research program, started 4 years ago, with IRIT from Toulouse, l'IMSI, l'Abri, one musical acoustic lab, the LARM, our team, the Museum of National History, and a private startup, Exparisson. The objective was to improve access and facilitate data sharing to the public through a web content management system with specific tools and analysis tools. This part introduced how analysis tools adapted to field recordings are implemented to fit new ways to index sound libraries. The first challenge of this project was the interdisciplinarity of the teams, and the first challenge was to communicate each other. And why use music information retrieval for ethnomusicology? Sometimes it's very, very basic needs, like segmentation and to locate announcement of the collectors in the wall tape, or also make a synchronic comparison or diachronic comparison. For example, of these wall tapes, it's maybe 20 minutes tapes. You can see the waveform and the spectrogram, but it's not enough to locate quickly the announcement of the collector. And if you want to locate it, you have to listen, of course, all the whole tape to find finally the announcement is the middle of the tape, the precious announcement with the date, the locate, the people who are singing. This is the partner of the project, and the different goal of the team, like test existing music information retrieval tools, because usually they use dataset from TV and broadcast or radio dataset, so the content is really clean. And they are very interested by using field recording to improve their own tools, to detection tools. So they have to understand the needs of the ethnomusicology community also, because so we have to test a new methodology. They create a new method or adapt existing tool, develop of the tool in Python programming language, integration of the tool in the time-side framework, and after the second part, it was evaluation of the two manner, quantitative and qualitative, by ethnomusicologists to validate the tools. This is the methodology. Human expert users use markers to make human annotation in order to compare with the automatic detection. So they could use, you could enter many comments. And after you can also use the existing tool of visualization like spectrogram, and you can choose here the different tools proposed by the project, like speech detection and etc., audio, pitch, onset, etc. And this is a specific tool developed in the project to detect the start record session of the analog magnetophone, because mainly they use Nagra recording during 30 years, and there is a specific a specific noise of each at the beginning of each session. You can hear a small, very short silence, and it's detected to find the start of the detection, the start of the session on the tape. This is an example of speech segmentation with the human annotation and the automatic detection. Sometimes it's matched, sometimes not. It's a work in progress, so sometimes we have good results, sometimes not, of course. This is the same with music detection. We test 3 methods. And you can see the different results. And also singing voice detection with 2 methods. This is another detection asked by the ethnomusicologist to detect monoodic and polyphonic parts in the sound files. Here we have a duo and a solo part in the song. Sometimes you have results, but it's... And it was also a good opportunity to define with acoustic manner the parameters, the objective parameters to describe the voice, and the intermediate categories like talking, storytelling, recitation, chanting, and singing, not based on style or musical genre, but the problem was to characterize with a significant proportion of unvoiced sound, to have only consider acoustic features. So we have make a more very precise description of each way to speak for the needs of the IT developers. This is another example of detection of each categories of voice asked between spoken and singing voice, and different intermediate categories. But the problem was to find a good ergonomic interface to show these results, but we could have some good results. And this is tempogram analysis. It's classical one, and onset detection. So with this experience, we test new way to work for the archiving. When the tape is digitized, we use on the, you download on the server in the application. The archivist use tools to propose a segmentation with markers, and the engineer segments the sound files. During this time, the archivist creates items, different items of each part in the database, and after we import the new sound files in the database with all the different items created with according the real content of the database, of the tape, and not only with field notes, because sometimes we have any information. Another project with about my music information retrieval tools with Queen Mary University and Bob Sturm and Oded Bental to experiment diachronic analysis on Calypso between 1963 and 2015. Panorama is the competition each year in Trinidad with many Calypso band, and we have all the recordings since 50 years, so we can compare the evolution of some features like tuning. The very first time I present these results is not really ready, but it's a work in progress. This is the value of the tempo during the 50 years for the finalist of the competition. Up and down, it's the champion of the competition. So, no, it's a tuning, sorry, it's a tuning. So we can observe on this result that there is a standardization of the tuning, of the tuning of the orchestra, because of use of electronic tuning device. So you can see in the last decades, the tune is around between 440 and 445. Oh, oui. Now this the tempo. The tempo is quite stable, and we have to manage now beat and half beat, because sometimes the rhythmic section is so high that we can distinguish in between half and half beat by human ear, and also by music information retrieval. So we have to do something with these results, because and to study with ethnomusicologists what is possible or not. And this is dissonance. We observe a standardization, because there is an harmonization in the way of tuning of the instrument, because steel band is very rich harmonically frequencies, and in the time they use a new way to tune the steel band. So it's very clear on these diagrams. And the loudness, we observe a wider diversity of dynamic, because they use more contrast effect in the way of play. They use piano subito and forte, and well. So, and to finish, the perspective of this all these projects is to integrate a new interface, to have more visualization possibility, more lines to comment, and to have collaborative works. But the main challenge is to have a dynamic zoom. Here you have the prototype, because and Parisson tried several techniques, but it's difficult to manage the graphical elements between the server and the navigator, because all could be managed by the navigator, of course. But it's almost ready, and we are waiting the interface integration. And the perspective, we have a project with INRIA for source separations and restoration online of the old carriage, Also, there is another project with Deezer and Radio France to share, to mix music information retrieval and big data technologies. And also we have a project with New York University of Abu Dhabi to study similarity rhythmic on the Arabic area, Peninsular Arabic, India, East Africa, and Madagascar. And to conclude, these tools need to be validated, and it's very time consuming, and maybe the solution to build international community or European community to test and to improve these tools. And so it could be a good solution to progress. Oh, sorry. Whoop. Sorry. Thank you very much for your attention.